Hello, and welcome back to Studio 204. You're joining us at Cowley College News for the second edition of the spring semester.
And you're in for a good one.
We have a lot to cover today, starting with some local updates.
That's right, there's a lot going on at our Cowley campus. There's something new every week.
Speaking of something new, there are quite a few recently developed programs at Cowley that some of our students might not be aware of.
Yeah, since the Tyler Tech building is farther away from the main campus, some of the new exciting programs aren't getting enough spotlight.
Well, if you find yourself curious about what's going on down there, good, because this next piece will update you on all you need to know about the Tyler Tech building and the programs there.
The new Tyler Tech building is located on the west side of campus near the softball fields. This facility provides hands-on experience and skill needed to thrive walking into a new career.
The Tyler Tech building is the newest building on Cowley's campus. Most people know this building for cosmetology and criminal justice, but did you also know that it offers welding, electrical, and HVAC programs as well? Let's take a look on how we got to the point we are at today. It all started in Island Hall, which was formerly a school for Arc City before the high school was built in 1922. Cowley took this building and put in criminal justice and cosmetology until 2024. But when both of those programs, along with the welding programs, had become too large at Cowley, the administration knew it had something to do. So they looked towards a new building. The new Tyler Tech building offers much more room and allows for more technology, like our criminal justice simulation training room. The space on the cosmetology wing is immense, with 25 hairstyling stations, facial rooms, tanning booths, and a mani-pedi room. The building was $8 million, with the majority of that money coming from an ARPA or American Rescue Plan Act. The other part of the money came from donations like Robert and Gwen Tyler. It not only houses the cosmetology and criminal justice, but houses construction trades and welding, as both programs have been growing immensely.
Whether you're pursuing a career in criminal justice, perfecting your welding techniques, or mastering the art of cosmetology, the Tyler Tech building provides the tools, technology, and expert instruction to help you succeed.
From criminal justice and cosmetology to welding and construction trades, they have it all.
There are so many great things going on at Cowley that you might miss. Don't be shy. Maybe go down to cosmetology and get a new haircut. Put yourself out there.
With so many opportunities available through our programs, it's a great time to get involved and put yourself out there. But as we get further into a busy semester, make sure to take care of yourself beyond just class and extracurriculars.
Absolutely. Do you know what one of the hardest challenges for struggling college students is? Nutrition.
Most students don't really think about how serious proper nutrition is, but it's something that's very important. Healthy eating can change so many things in your life.
It might seem hard to do, especially in college. But don't worry, we have some tips and advice for any college students trying to navigate healthy eating on campus.
Let's face it, eating healthy in college can be tricky. Between the all-nighters, tight budgets, and late-night cravings, it feels easier to grab whatever's fast and cheap. With a little planning and knowledge put to use, you can stay healthy and energized while not worrying about what you're going to eat next week. Today we're diving into some easy, budget-friendly tips and tricks for eating healthy in college.
When it comes to success in athletics or in the classroom, if you're not giving your body the proper nutrition with vitamins, minerals, and hitting all those areas that your body needs and your brain needs to be able to function properly, then it's going to catch up to you. In order to expend energy, you got to put energy in.
It's really, really hard to learn effectively if you're hungry or if you haven't had proper nutrition.
So whenever you wake up in the morning, don't eat, your blood sugar drops. Whenever your blood sugar drops, your energy drops, your mood, your cognitive health, you're not able to focus better. And the more that you can focus on not eating out and prioritizing real food as best as you can, making sure that you eat balanced meals. And what I mean by balanced meals is, I always say palm for protein, fist for the amount of carbs, and then thumb for the amount of fats.
Pre-planning is often a good choice, and probably for college students too. So if on Sunday you look ahead, what am I doing this week? When can I go purchase some healthy choices? How can I plan out my week in such a way that I'll make healthy choices?
When you're prepping food at your home from scratch with minimal ingredients, we want to be eating these foods that are naturally occurring, that we make ourselves,
Limiting the fried foods, limiting those kind of saturated fat. Fresh Ideas, I think, does a pretty good job in the cafeteria of offering different selections when it comes to healthy versus fried, unhealthy type foods.
And there you have it, simple, cost-efficient ways to eat healthy while also juggling college life. With a little planning and effort, you can stay energized and feeling your best throughout your day-to-day. Remember, it's about finding what works best for you. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy.
I hope they give you some motivation to start putting more thought into what you put in your body.
It's sometimes difficult to prioritize your own health, especially when everything is so busy. But whether it's physical or mental health, it's important to check in with yourself about what you need.
It's also good to give yourself some grace, especially with so many things going on, whether it's locally or worldwide. It can all be very overwhelming.
There are so many things that can impact you negatively, like the media, which is a huge contributor when it comes to our outlook on things. Our opinions, values, and our identities are all influenced by the media.
Coming up next, we have an opinion piece about an issue that is directly influenced by the media, and it's a hard hitter.
Hello, my name is Dylan Miller, and I will be doing an opinion piece on transgender women in sports as they have become a recent talking point as more executive orders are being passed to push them out of sports. And hopefully I can give you insight onto what I have found, and hopefully I can expand your viewpoints today.
Transgender is a word most people are familiar with at this point, but if not, the definition is that a person who does not align with what they were at birth. This somehow has sparked controversy after controversy when it comes to obtaining equality that is now being tampered with and challenged by many in positions of power. Through false claims of misinformation, the hate for these people have grown to insurmountable levels. But the focus won't be on what's happening overall, but to focus on one thing. Donald Trump passed an executive order keeping men out of women's sports, banning all transgender women from competing in women's sports. Now, the order itself is largely demeaning of transgender women, in which it states women and girls are endangered and silenced, and even states that the locker rooms will need to be protected. Most people don't know transgender women already face heavy restrictions and high levels of testing to make sure they are even eligible to compete. And these rules even interfere with non-transgender women, barring women who just have too much testosterone. The order, the hatred, and the fear are not placed with the idea of protecting women, but to radicalize the idea that transgender women are dangerous. And continuing the topic of testing and restrictions, transgender athletes face restrictions in sports in every level ranging from high school to Olympics. These restrictions unfortunately have been simplified to a ban or requiring trans athletes to compete with what is listed on their birth certificate. High schools do not have the necessary means to navigate the landscape of monitoring trans athletes like the Olympics do, putting them in an awkward situation. Titles in place that don't allow discrimination of a person based on their sex, which has helped trans athletes compete in sports. This title is unfortunately now under review, and school administrations are waiting on its restructuring. On March 24th, 2023, Algerian boxer Amin Khalif was disqualified from the Women's World Boxing Championship that is held every year. The controversy started after a 46-second match when Italy's Angela Carini withdrew from the match, giving Khalif the win. Later, she would be disqualified from the IBA, International Boxing Association, for failing an unspecified gender verification test. That disqualification drew transphobia and misinformation about the event after. The results of the test were never published. Khalif called the decision a big controversy. This disqualification came from the large push for the ban of transgender athletes in all levels of sports. The S9 Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act, presented by R. Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, is a bill that prohibits school athletic programs from allowing individuals whose biological sex at birth was male to participate in programs that are for women or girls. Narrowly passed in a vote with the House of Representatives until it was unanimously blocked by the Senate Democrats.
Hopefully today you are able to understand where transgender athletes are coming from whenever they talk about being disproportionately discriminated in sports pertaining to each level, such as Olympics, high school, and college. Hopefully they are able to get the rights they deserve in order to compete, but also at a fair level.
Hopefully that provided a new perspective and gave you something to think about.
It's obvious the way we look at sports is constantly changing, and there are a lot of opinions and expectations that come with that. There's a lot to think about.
Gender plays a huge role in sports, especially lately, even in esports. Did you know that a 2019 report from marketplace.org showed that 5% of professional esports players were women, a statistic that has seen improvement in recent years?
Esports in general has been getting a lot more buzz in the media. It's something that has grown throughout the years.
If you haven't jumped on the esports train, don't worry. We have a piece for you that will walk you through the gaining popularity of esports and the reason behind it, as well as its personal connection to Cowley.
With how far video games have come as an industry, it's hard to imagine at one point, specifically here in the West, that they were considered nothing more than a passing fad. Now, a multi-billion-dollar industry, video games have become ubiquitous in our collective pop culture, not just here, but everywhere that allows it. To those like myself who were born in the 90s, video games were predominantly oriented around the single-player experience. It wasn't until the early 2000s where online gaming revolutionized the industry. Games like Halo, Call of Duty, and other similar third and first-person shooters allowed us to connect with friends and play for fun. Fast forward to today, and video games have grown even bigger in social relevancy. Things like the burgeoning esports industry now make up an even bigger chunk of the market, with some events like EVO and various other esports leagues where plenty of competitive games are played on a world stage. However, with a new league that showcases the skill and expertise of competitive multiplayer games comes a slew of misconceptions surrounding the sport. I, myself, unsure of what exactly the ins and outs of nuances of the subculture, wanted to gain a better understanding of what it all encapsulates. We spoke to a couple of different members of Cowley's own esports community to gain their views, definitions, goals, and everything in between to understand more of what goes on within a competitive esports scene, as well as what potentially comes after.
Okay, so esports, as I understand it, is we are with the NJCAA, which is just a part of the NJCAA. And since we already compete in all the NJCAA sports, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them, we wanted to add esports to Cowley. So the difference between that kind of competitive team sport, even though it's an esport, and competing nationally and gaming club is the gaming club is a lot more relaxed. We still get together, we still play games, but we're meant to have more of a community, kind of a campus feel, where we all get together and play something. It's just as a club, as opposed to something so competitive.
So the way I would define esports, like, it depends, because there's team esports and then there's solo esports. Both at the college level, it's not, frankly, as serious as it is at the professional level. I don't know, it's like in terms of solo esports, you have, like, it's competitive regardless. I think in terms of like solo esports, you have like typical fighting games. Maybe Fortnite, Smash Bros, but that's also a fighting game. And then like for team esports, which are the big ones, you have like Siege, Overwatch, Apex, League of Legends. But yeah, I don't know. I think when I think of esports, I think of like your Sonic Foxes or your Fakers.
What kind of scholarships are available for competitive esports?
We are offering scholarships, and I would have to check my notes to get the specifics on them, but they will cover tuition and books, but not fees or housing, I think. I could be wrong, but I think I'm offering 8 to 10 scholarships for the fall.
So what are some of your goals you have in this following year?
Well, first, we're going to try and build 2 teams. We're going to try and have a Rocket League team and a Valorant team. And I'm going to try to take those through a postseason of nationals with NJCAA and win Cowley some national championships in esports. But first comes like the team building. We're supposed to have tryouts on April 1st, hopefully. and I'll see if I have enough for the teams there.
Hopefully that clears up some misconceptions you may have had about the subculture. I know it certainly did for me. If you have any interest in joining up, watching a match, or seeing what all of this is about, reach out to Jeremy at jeremy.durham@cowley.edu, visit the club room, or join their Discord to get more involved. Club meets are regular on Fridays at 6:30 p.m. With games ranging from StarCraft to Tekken, there's plenty of variety for everyone to enjoy.
Athletes are doing pretty good.
Very good. In fact, 2 of our athletes won King and Queen during homecoming week, Andre Ecker and Jesse Richard.
The homecoming sweepstakes competition also happened that week with Art Club in first place,
Quiz Bowl in second place,
Residence Assistants in third,
and Student Ambassadors in fourth.
We had such a fun week of activities, including trivia night, the homecoming basketball game, and the lip sync battle competition.
And just in case you missed it, we have a lip sync battle up on the Cowley College Media channel for you to check out.
Now that we've wrapped up the news from last month, let's get into this month. March has arrived, bringing the perfect time to honor women with Women's History Month and International Women's Day. On Cowley Press socials, we are shining a light on incredible women, past and present. Follow us at Cowley Press on Instagram and Facebook to be part of the conversation. Join us in celebrating and uplifting women all month long. Stay tuned and let's make this Women's History Month one to remember.
With that, our broadcast is coming to an end.
Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you back for the next one. We're your anchors,
Araceli
and Olivia, signing off.